Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahā-bāratam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 80 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Our reading from the Dnyaan Vidyaan Yoga, the 7th Adhyaya of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and in our previous reading we read about Sri Krishna teaching us that how he himself, the Lord himself, is appearing, is pervading this entire creation. The five gross elements, the mahā-bāho, and the three internal organs. That's what Sri Krishna told us, that everything is covered by me. Everything is my own existence, my own appearance, my own projection. Bhumi rapo nalo vayuhu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankar itiyam me bhinna prakriti ashtadha. Bhumi, the earth; Ap, water; Anala, fire; Vayuhu, air; Kham, Akash, the ether, the space. These five mahā-bāho, the five gross elements, as well as Mano, Buddhi, Ahankar, the mind, the intellect, and the egoism, the I consciousness of every being. These 8 primary the elements. Sri Krishna says, Me bhinna prakriti ashtadha. These are all my prakriti. It is my projection of this creation. This 8-fold division of my creation is included in these 8 principles, in these 8 elements, in these 8 tattvas. The earth, water, fire, air and space. These are the external. And mind, intellect and egoism, I consciousness. All these are the 8-fold projections of my Prakriti. That is what Sri Krishna has taught us in the 4th Shloka and in the 5th Shloka that we are going to read today. Incidentally, this the 8-fold Prakriti that Sri Krishna has mentioned. Further, the Sankhyas, the Sankhya philosophers, they have totally comprised, they have subdivided this Prakriti into further 23 principles, and including Purusha. The Sankhya philosophy says that totally there are the 24 cosmic principles which cover everything in this universe. This 8-fold projection of Prakriti that Sri Krishna has mentioned in this shloka. And then there are other 5 subtle organs, the senses, the fine subtle senses like smell. Now these also constitute the entire universe. So the Lord as such gets divided into two. The Purusha, the main entity, and Prakriti. The Purusha is formless, nameless, and indivisible, indescribable, indestructible, that entity, the Brahman, the Satchidananda. And then with the influence of Maya, the Lord evolves this Prakriti, which is the projection out of that one entity. And Lord says, these are all my own creations. Now, further in the 5th shloka, Sri Krishna says, apareyam itas tvanyāṁ prakṛitiṁ viddhi me parām jīva-bhūtāṁ mahā-bāho yayedaṁ dhāryate jagat. Now this is something very subtle, very great knowledge Sri Krishna is giving, and he is giving it to Arjuna as mahā-bāho, O mighty arm, because it is not possible for the grasp of ordinary beings to understand this eternal truth that Sri Krishna is saying. The person has to have mighty intelligence, he has to have a mighty qualities to grasp the teachings of Sri Krishna. And therefore Sri Krishna is addressing Arjuna here as mahā-bāho, the mighty armed. Now what Sri Krishna is saying? Apareyam itas tvanyāṁ. Apara is lower. Idam, this, whatever I have told you, in fact is still considered to be a lower from this. But anyam, different, is the Prakriti. This, what I have described to you just now, apareyam itas tvanyāṁ, what I have told you just now is just my lower Prakriti. I have told you about these 5 gross elements of fire, earth, water, fire, air, and space, and the 3 internal functions of mind, intellect, and I consciousness. These 8-fold divisions of my Prakriti, what I have told you, they are not all in all. Oh Arjuna, oh mahā-bāho, now you have to be exceedingly smart to understand what I am telling you. That's what Sri Krishna is referring to by addressing Arjuna as mahā-bāho. Whatever I have told you, they are of the lower nature. That is my lower Prakriti. Jīva-bhūtāṁ prakṛitiṁ viddhi me parām. Whatever I have told you, they are all lower forms of the Prakriti. They are not very, highly evolved forms. They are lower forms. Just imagine Sri Krishna saying all these 5, cosmic principles and the 3 internal principles as of lower nature, then what could be of the higher nature of that Prakriti? That Sri Krishna is telling. Jīva-bhūtāṁ mahā-bāho yayedaṁ dhāryate jagat. Jīva-bhūtāṁ, the very life element, the prana, the jiva, the life force. Yayedaṁ, yayedaṁ, by this dhāryate jagat. By the life force is hailed this entire universe, this world. That is still higher. What I have told you, they have absolutely a lower kind of placement in the hierarchy of importance. They are maybe insignificant. Now, if these pancha mahā-bhūtas are insignificant, if our mind and intellect and I consciousness is of lower nature, what is the higher nature than that? We all feel, I am the supreme being, I am the most intelligent person on this earth. What else can be higher than this I consciousness? What else can be higher than my intellect? What else can be higher than my mind? And what else can be higher than these 5 gross elements which have composed this, which have formed this entire universe? Can there be anything higher? And Sri Krishna says, yes. All these I have told you, they are still quite lower. That is the lower form of my Prakriti. The jīva-bhūta, the life force, the life principles which make these the occupants of this in this Prakriti, which makes this jumping up and down, that life force, that Jivatman, that jīva-bhūta, that is the higher one by which this entire world is held together. Just imagine the life force gone from anything. It is a dead matter then. There is no action, there is no devotion, there is no activity as such. The moment the life force gets out, so Sri Krishna says, more than all these 8-fold aspects of my Prakriti, the life force is the one, highest one, which is holding all this universe. This is my lower Prakriti, but different from it, no, O mighty armed, my higher Prakriti. My higher Prakriti, the life element by which this universe is upheld. So that is what Sri Krishna is now slowly teaching us. Why we should focus our attention, why we should meditate upon that great Lord, on that great eternal power, that great eternal truth. Because this entire thing is pervaded, is filled with the consciousness of that great eternal truth. And it is not just the 5 gross elements or 3 internal faculties that we have. These are all insignificant for that matter. The highest force is the life force. All this is pervaded by the eternal truth, by that eternal being. Therefore, we have to meditate on that, and then having meditated on that principle, having meditated on that eternal one, Lord Krishna, whichever name we may call that eternal one as. We may call that eternal one as Krishna, Rama, Buddha, Jesus, Ramakrishna. That meditation gives us the knowledge of this entire vastness. All the 5 elements and the 3 internal organs put together form the inferior constituent of the Lord. That is the lower nature. The cosmic life principle, or the sum total of the Jivatman, is his higher superior constituent. The life force, the jīva-bhūtāṁ, the Jivatman. An example elucidates this truth. The smoke that emanates from fire is its lower nature. The spark, its higher nature. The smoke that comes out of fire, whenever we light a fire for homa or for any puja, first comes the smoke. Now, smoke is just an inferior form of the fire. Smoke doesn't signify the fire. Smoke, because of fire, smoke has generated, fine. But what is the real essence of the fire? It is the spark. It is that glow. It is that heat that burns in fire. Smoke is not the inherent nature of the fire. Smoke comes because of fire. The characteristics of fire are in the sparks, in the glow. in the flame, while its action in the smoke. In smoke we see, that's why there is that saying, where there is a smoke there is a fire, where there is a fire there is a smoke. So fire is, the smoke is just an action part of it. That is what we perceive. But what is the smoke? Smoke will at the most blacken the things. Smoke will not burn. That burning power is not in the smoke. Burning power is only in that spark, only in that glow, only in that flame of the fire. Technically put, smoke is the tatastha lakshanam. It is accidental definition. Smoke is, yes, because fire is there, smoke is there, but smoke is not fire. The real fire is the spark. The real fire is the flame. And Sri Krishna says, all these eightfold, projection of my Prakriti, they are not signal. I mean, they are of lower nature. The real nature is the jīva-bhūtāṁ, the life force, the life energy, which constitutes, which gives life form, which gives life to this dead form. Without life, everything is dead. So Krishna says that life energy, knowing of spark is equivalent to knowing of fire. Pure consciousness, which is the Paramatman, is inherent in the Jivatman also. Now, this is the reality of the Atman, the principle of Atman. Whatever is there in the Paramatma is there in the Atman also, maybe at a minuscule level. It is just a fraction of that, the eternal entity Paramatman. But still, it has a great significance because that Jivatman keeps the fire sparkling. If Jivatman is out of the body, what happens? This body is a log of wood. No action, no movement, no feelings, no mind, no intellect, no eye consciousness. With life force getting out of this body, I can never say, oh, I am Sattvic, I am so and so, I am reciting Gita. There is nothing that I can do then once the life force is out from here. So, Sri Krishna says, it is the life force which is much higher projection of me, because it makes things happen. The Jivatman is, the spark is that which has separated itself from the fire. Just like Jivatman has separated itself from the Paramatman. But the Jivatman in reality is not dissociated from Paramatman. We see when the fire is burning, there are so many sparks. They go here and there and there. But those sparks, they are part of fire, but they are dissociated from fire. The moment the leaf from a tree falls down, it has got no relation with that tree. It is that tree is different, that leaf is different, but that doesn't happen with the Paramatman and the Jivatman. The continuity, the relationship with the source is always maintained there. Whatever are the qualities of the Paramatman, in the subtle form those qualities are there in the Jivatman also. It is a matter of time when the Jivatman gets liberated, gets merged in the Paramatman and realizes oneness of all, the ultimate objective of the Dhyana Yoga that Sri Krishna has explained in the 6th Adhyaya. As a wave in the ocean, the individual soul is ever in the cosmic soul. Another beautiful example of the ocean and its waves. Wave is apparently different from ocean, right? But can we say it is separate from ocean? No. Wave is very much part and parcel of the ocean. Whether it is a rising wave or downward wave, wave is very much part of the ocean. Likewise, the Jivatman is very much part of the Paramatman. The jiva prakriti, or the kshetratnya, is utilizing the jada prakriti or the kshetra as its body. Kshetratnya, the knower of the field, the knower of the physical world. This Jivatman is just utilizing this body, which again is composed of the 5 cosmic principles. The earth, fire, water, air and ether, the body is composed of that. And the 3 internal organs, the mind, intellect and the eye consciousness. This body, which is comprised of these 8-fold projections of Prakriti, Lord's Prakriti, also has that one element which is far superior than these 8 projected elements. That is the life force, and Sri Krishna says that one has to understand. And through that understanding, the knowledge that we have got of the Lord's presence in all, that we are going to actually realize one day. We are going to have that realization and we are going to enjoy that Vidyaan based on the Dnyaan that we have received. That is the ultimate realization. That is the ultimate Vidyaan. And therefore, Sri Krishna tells us that life force is the most important of all. So with that, we complete our reading for the day. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.